Hi, I'm Rob Dolan. I'd like to welcome you to the Rob Dolan Winery and Cellar Door. I'm a winemaker based out of the beautiful Yarra Valley, half an hour from Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. My history in terms of winemaking is a little bit unusual. I originally studied as a physical education teacher, which my original aim was actually to be a sports psychologist. But I then moved into the sporting world, played football in South Australia, fortunate enough to play at a pretty high level. And then moved on from being a footballer and decided there may be another future. So I decided to get a bit of a start in the wine industry. So I worked out at Coonawarra for about 2 years, which was a fantastic experience, worked with some fantastic winemakers. And then went back to university, studied winemaking, and ended up in the Hunter Valley in New South Wales, worked with Arrowfield and had a short stint with the Rothbury estate. And then there was a job offered in the Yarra Valley. I actually had no idea where the Yarra Valley was other than knowing it was near Melbourne. And I thought that'd be the best spot to go. It's got great sporting facilities, good lifestyle. And I ended up working with a company called Yarra Ridge. And Yarra Ridge actually was a relatively small business at that time and then became quite a successful company. I enjoyed the period. It was exciting to see the relationships and the growth of the business. But then I thought it might be time to do my own thing. So I got involved with a company called Dominion Wines, which then became Plunkett Fowles. I designed and built wineries and thought, well, okay, now it's time to have a go by myself or with some partners. So I set up a business by the name of Punt Road. And Punt Road was a bit of a concept I had because when a cricketer comes into bowl or a footballer kicks a goal in Australian rules football, they kick it at the Punt Road end. And it was part of the psyche of Melbourne and the psyche of Australia that they would understand a brand called Punt Road, nice and easy to remember. And I thought, okay, once that had built to a certain stage and I had some partnerships with some other players who were growers, I then developed a brand called Sticks, which is my nickname, being quite tall and slim in those days. The Sticks brand, again, did very well, and that then I actually ended up buying the Yarra Ridge winery from one of the corporate companies, so it's almost turned full circle. I then decided it was time to move on to my own thing where I had control over the business, and that's when I started the Rob Dolan brand. I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to be able to do it myself and have control over what I did and what growers I dealt with. Over a period of the previous 15 years, I'd had incredible relationships with a number of growers, and I wanted to build a business using the growers and also having my own influence over how those growers grew grapes and how we actually then made the wines. And then I came up with the concept after leasing a little winery out of, out towards Dixon's Creek. I had 2 years working out of that winery and going back to hand making my own wines. I came up with the concept of real wine, real people, real character. And that's where, I guess, the next phase of the business started. Well, one of the objectives of the Rob Dolan brand has been to purely focus on the Yarra Valley. Yarra Valley's been, I guess, very much part of what I've been in the last 25 years. It's a fantastic area in terms of great production, and I started to get involved in making Pinot Noir and Chardonnay at various levels, and they are certainly our focus varieties. We're now seeing, I think, enormous potential with Cabernet, which historically has done exceptionally well out of the Yarra. The Cabernets in particular, coming out of the Yarra out of 14, 15 and 16, I would say the most spectacular wines I've seen in the last 25 years. They're wines which have incredible power and depth, and they're wines to put down for, don't be afraid to put them down for 10 to 15 years. The white label wines are wines which will have more time in oak. They're selected parcels from the 22 different vineyards that we're taking fruit from. We're not looking to make more than about 500 to 1,500 cases across each of those products, but they're selected parcels with probably the strongest oak, more seasoned. They're wines with incredible potential that will build in the bottle, and wines which we think will be special wines down the track. True Colours wines are approachable, easy drinking range. If you look at the Sauvignon Blanc, it's got that punchy Sauvignon Blanc characteristic you get out of the Yarra, almost a tropical characteristic with a bit of passion fruit. The Chardonnay has a light cheese, white peach characteristic, which I find fabulous. If you move on to some of the other wines in that range, we released a new product called the Field Blend. It's a blend of Gewurztraminer, Sauvignon, a little bit of Pinot Gris and a touch of Chardonnay. What we're trying to get is a wine with a lot of middle palate weight, plenty of energy and zip, nice and crunchy, energetic. I think it's pretty special, but that's something from my side of it, but I think you'll love it when you try it. The other wines in the range is a Cab Shiraz Merlot, which is probably our most important wine, I think, in terms of what we make in the whole company. It allows us to do other things with Pinot Noir and makes a wine style which actually does exceptionally well in the Asian and in the European markets. Right, we have a very energetic team, both of the two-legged and four-legged varieties. So we have actually 3 dogs on side of the winery. We have a lot of fun, but it's certainly about being serious about wines and making quality wines. And the dynamic background that some of these people are from, or all these people are from, allows this business to grow and move forward. We look forward to working to our cellar door, where you can try our amazing range of wines. I know you'll enjoy them because I certainly love making them.